here goes. Yes. Technical difficulties. Hello. Just gonna wait a few minutes for people to get settled in. Checking my messages. Yay, you're here. Welcome. My mom is texting me, how do I find it? And I don't know how to explain it to her. I've got my tea. I made some herbal tea just a few minutes ago as I steam up the camera. Can you see everything okay? It is afternoon here, and I think it's evening for you, right? Keith is here too. He's crunch munching his lunch in the background.
Quietly.
I don't keep yelling at him. You have to be quiet.
It's charming background noise.
Okay, cool. I'm glad you can hear me. All right, well, I've got all my supplies picked out. This is just because it matched. I'm going to be using a selection of paints from White Nights as well as some from Ruby Mountain Paint Company. And these are just little samples that she had sent me. And they just happen to work perfect for our friendly fruit sketches prompt over on Instagram, which is Quince. I think I'm saying that correctly.
Mm-hmm. The forbidden fruit.
And I've got my reference photo pulled up here on my computer, and I shared it earlier in my Instagram stories if everyone is curious about what I'm sketching from. Let's just make some room here. I don't know if I'm going to use all of these colors, but I figured I would grab them. And that way, if I need them, they're there. I'm going to be using a 2H pencil and a Micron .01 in black, which I guess is 0.25 millimeters. And that is waterproof ink. Oh, perfect. Thank you for including the hashtags. Oh, I need to get a different camera. This camera is not the best, so I'm sorry that it keeps losing focus. I'm just gonna get right into it then. So I'm gonna be sketching in the same kind of style that I do for my playful watercolor fruit class over on Skillshare. And it's a little bit of a looser, more quick style, and it's easy and it's fun, and really anybody can do it. And fruit is kind of perfect for that style of sketching because, especially quince, they're super lumpy, they're kind of weirdly shaped, so if you do it not quite exactly as the reference photo, no one's going to know the difference. And I'm just going to start with some loose shapes, just roughing it in, and I'm going to use the side of the pencil rather than the point of the pencil. And I'm going to start just kind of like with the bottom, like ball shape of the fruit, and then build from there and start adding some more shape and definition. And the image that I'm working from is from Unsplash. Unsplash? Yeah. Unsplash.com. And I'm a really messy sketcher, if you hadn't noticed, and that's totally fine because we're going to erase all of these lines later. It's a little bit funky here at the top, and the stem is kind of growing sideways out like that. It's not perfect, but you know, it's a little difficult too because normally I lean over what I'm drawing a bit more than I should say right now, because the camera is in the way. Camera and lots of lights. All right, and then there's a big leaf here. That's covering a good part of the fruit, coming down. And it's kind of attached like that. All right, kind of switching over to the tip of the pencil now, because I've kind of got my shapes pretty much roughed in, and I want to start adding some details. This leaf is a little bit weirdly shaped. All right, and then if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. Yeah, every single picture I've looked at of a quince has been so different. Some of them look almost like perfectly round, like an apple, and others look like a pear, like this one, and then even more like look just wonky and weird. Okay, let's see. I want to add a few details, the stem, and then I'm going to switch to my ink. And you don't want to spend too much time on this sketch. We don't want to get all detail oriented, which we all tend to do, especially me. I'm always like, oh wait, but there's a little bump there that I have to sketch in. And I think that that's good enough. Where's my pen? I started another quince in like a colored ink, but then I didn't paint it. It's just like, why didn't I paint that? All right, So for like the sketchy style, I kind of scribble a lot and I just kind of go back over my lines a lot. So it's really not that precise and really more like fast and I don't want to say too expressive, but it's not like precision inking here. The lines don't all have to connect. You can kind of go back over them, correct them. And you don't want this to take more than like maybe 5 minutes. The whole like sketching and inking process. Wait, how long have I been going? Oh, I've already been here for 10 minutes, so maybe I lied. But you want to do it quick. You want it to be more like spontaneous and less, you know, really orchestrated. Just gonna throw these little lines in. Got like a little bump right there. It's actually kind of hard for me to like sketch in this style on camera. Like it's very much in the moment kind of a sketch. And so it's harder to do when you're like thinking about it. But I'm gonna try to just go for it here. And I think something I mentioned in my watercolor class on Skillshare is that it's almost like sculpting. You're kind of sculpting an edge rather than like tracing over your pencil lines. I use the pencil as like a base, and then when I do my ink, it's refining the pencil sketch rather than just I'm trying to perfectly copy my lines. I don't think that, well, I just don't like that aesthetic personally. I feel like it looks like you traced. Even if you're tracing your own drawing, it looks too perfect, especially for quick sketching. I'm going to put some kind of scritchy marks in. Over here. Some fruit have like more texture than others. Like a lemon, I would do like lots of little dots because that would kind of lend itself to the texture of the fruit. All right. I guess the biggest point is that it's not about making a perfect drawing. It's more about observation, practicing observation, and just doing something creative. I think just logging those miles, as Angela Fair says, you know, just putting in the time is what matters. Okay, this should be dry, and I'm going to erase all of my pencil marks. Yay! Hi! Welcome! Oh, I'm so glad you guys made it. Mom, you found it! Sorry, I didn't look at the chat. And Sarah! Yay! Welcome, welcome! And Joy, too! Oh man, you guys are spoiling me today. I think I got all of it. Nope, I didn't, but there we go. How does that look? It looks okay. It's a little wonky, but all good. Oh, you guys are the best. Okay, so I'm going to start with some color because that's why we're all here, right? We want pretty colors. So let's see. From Ruby Mountain, I have Nickel Yellow, Primrose Yellow, Spring Green, and Monte Carlo Green, as well as Ruby's Gray, which is one of my favorites. Let's see, and then from White Nights, what do I have? I have Aureolin, Olive Green, Indian Yellow, I want to say, and then Yellow Ochre Light. I don't know if I'm going to use this other little one. It's so tiny. Okay. For brushes today, I'm using my Rosemary and Company Sable Blend Series 402 Designer Pointed Round Brushes. Gosh, that's a mouthful. And I think I'm going to start with this Nickel Yellow. It's really lovely, pale yellow. And I thought it would be the perfect color to kind of do the first wash for these. It's a little bit opaque, but it should work nicely. And it's okay to go out of the lines. I'm gonna try to leave some highlights. I'm so bad at leaving highlights. I always paint over them. I already painted over them. I'm like, I'm gonna leave highlights. No. Alright. And this whole technique for this is really to paint all in one go and just keep working wet and wet. So next I'm going to grab some of this Primrose, see what that'll do for us. There's a lot of kind of like browns and other tones in here. And it's okay if I get it on the leaf or whatever. So I've got a good, the paper is got a good sheen on it, but there's no puddles, and that's what you want for this, because otherwise the paint will just go everywhere. And you need a good paper. If you have a paper that doesn't really handle water very well, it's very difficult to do this technique. I'm going to switch over and grab some of this olive green. I feel like I got too much. I hope you guys are having a good weekend. I can't believe it's Easter weekend already. Like, what? How did that happen? Where does the time go? Grabbing some spring green now. Throw that into the mix. Kind of having to squint at my reference. Grabbing some Aureolin now. There's some highlights on the leaf, and I want to establish them pretty quickly with a warmer tone. Oh, I need to move my water. I'm sorry. So that's obnoxious. Some other colors I might need later. I'm going to pick up some Indian Yellow now. At least I think it's Indian Yellow. It's really kind of intense, so I don't want too much of it or it will overpower these lighter colors that I already laid down. Spring Green is really lovely. It's kind of like whatchamacallit? It's kind of like Undersea Green, only like a lighter version. Excuse me. Let's see. I'm also going to do some splatter, because who doesn't love splatter? Let's try the Naples. light. I'm trying to create some kind of contrast and shape here. But I don't want to use, I want to keep using saturated colors. I don't really want to use like shadow colors. You could, but I think it's more fun to use bright colors. And it's really just kind of whatever you feel like in the moment for these. Like, they're so quick, you could do a bunch of them. If you don't like it, just start over. Like, that's the beauty of this project, is that you can do a whole bunch of these. You could probably do, I don't know, at least 4 or 5 in an hour. And then you kind of can pick and choose what you like. Let's grab some of this darker green. See what that does for us. Oh, it's not. It doesn't want to play with me. I'll try to add in some shadows. This leaf. Gotta be careful because if it's too wet, it will go into my fruit like it did right there, which is fine. Not really too worried about it. I've not done a leaf before in this kind of a style, so that's kind of fun. Okay, I'm gonna grab some umber, raw umber, which is actually really nice. It's kind of like a burnt, not a burnt sienna, like a raw sienna almost. Stem for the stem color, yeah. Here we go. And I'm going to touch a little bit of it into the fruit itself, especially in a few spots. That's fun, right? And then I have one more color somewhere. Where did it go? Oh no, I put it away. Sorry, I forgot. I wanted my sepia? Sepia? Gosh, I can never remember how to say it. And I'm going to switch to my smaller brush. You don't have any pre-mixed greens. Ooh, I like to start with a pre-mixed green and then like go from there rather than just having to mix everything. Only because it saves time. It's easier. It can be good to start with like a base color. There's like this, some spots and freckles on this leaf. I don't know how I feel about the leaf. It looks a little weird. It looks a little weird to me. I don't know why. Anywho. Yellow fruit is really, really quick to do in this technique because there's not a lot of color going on. If I was doing like something that had at least 2 tones, like a pear, it would take a little longer because there's more colors to layer. I think I'm going to throw a little bit of green into this quince. Maybe just along this edge. And I grabbed a little bit more of that nickel yellow. I think that's it. I think I'm going to be done with that. And I'm going to do another one because that didn't take me very long. Oh, that's a fun question. My mom says I started drawing when I was 18 months old. So that's pretty much always. I don't know, can you guys see? Can you see the fun stuff going on? Oh, my lights. Look at those lovely stripes my lights make. Terrible. Let's try to find a chunkier Quince photo. Something that's a little more interesting to look at. Let's move this. And I'll do another one for you guys. Or I could do something else entirely. Different fruit. Whatever you want. So, Mom, Joy is from New Zealand. And it's like 8 o'clock in the morning for her. Which is really fun. They have people all around the world who want to play watercolor. Quince flower. Oh, I didn't look up any reference for those. Well, let's see what we can find. I also don't have my colors out for the flower because those are red, right? I'm pretty sure they have like bright red flowers. Almost like the pomegranate, which was really surprising. Ew, I'm not prepared for all of that. I do think I want, well, looks like it's a little too late now. This is dry. Once it's dry, if you add any more to it, it can get weird. Unless it's completely dry, and then you can re-wet it and start layering again. But you don't want to mess with it while it's drying. Oh, thank you. I am from Bears with Vodka country. Oh, you're adorable. What? Who says that? Alright, well, let me see if I can find some quince flowers. My keyboard is like barricaded, so let me see if I can get to it. Red flowers. Ooh, those are pretty. They're so pretty. Oh my gosh. Now to find a picture that doesn't have 20 flowers in it, because that'll be too many. And I guess I'll just grab this messy thing because I need more colors. Flowers are a little bit harder for me, I'm going to confess. I have to take a little more time, or I feel like they just come out looking not delicate enough, I guess. Trying to find a good reference photo that doesn't have too many flowers in it. Oh, I know, and it was snowing there today. What? No more snow. All right, wait, where was I looking at? I have too many tabs open. That's kind of like my standard mode of operation is to have like 30 tabs open, and yeah, it doesn't work so well. I have like too many pans and not enough room for them all. And then I like to kind of pull and choose colors from different palettes. So like anything that's big, these big ones, these are Roman Sismal. This is White Knights. This is White Knights. This is handmade watercolor. So they just don't fit nicely into one palette. Then these are colors I'm not really using right now, but I have nowhere else to put them, so they just kind of sit there. I want all the colors, so I don't have room for them all. And then, yeah, I need to get another one of these, and then I'll have enough space. But one thing at a time, you know. Trying to find a picture. Sorry, it's taking me so long. Yes. Well, I have a lot of little palettes, but I'm using them for I'm doing a commission right now. So I have all of the colors I need for that commission are in here so that I can find them easily. But then if I need any of these colors, then I'm using it's a little hectic. So, all right, let's make some space. These can go because we're not doing any more Quince. This goes in here. And I also thought this would be kind of distracting because there's just a lot of stuff from all these different brands, and I don't know. It's kind of a lot to look at. All right. Let's do these flowers. Where are we here? Gotta rearrange my windows. Okay. So I found a reference that I like. It's pretty simple. And there's just a branch. It's kind of a vertical branch, which I'm not really going to draw. And then branches are funny. They kind of wiggle around. We've got our flower. Actually, it's more up. Yeah, petals are a lot more kind of detailed than just like a big round fruit, which is pretty easy to draw. And there's another one coming out under here. And then another one here. Wish I could show my reference. I don't know how to do that. And then the branch continues. And there's little leaves sticking off here. we doing? Am I boring you to death? Aw, thank you. Sorry if I get quiet. I'm trying to figure out these petal shapes. Are you guys doing anything for stay home Easter? I thought about maybe baking something, but we bought like an entire pack of cookies from the store yesterday, and I figure, nope, I've had all the sweets that I need. So probably I won't bake anything else. I've been trying not to just like crunch, munch, and snack all day long. You know, it's very tempting, especially when you're stressed out. Like, that is all I want to do when I'm stressed out, is eat. It's like a little wiggle here in this petal. I know, right? Seriously, want to eat all the things. That is me. And I'm not, I don't know, some people can like skip breakfast. Oh no. I'm always hungry. Always. It's terrible. Oh, how are we doing here? Some of these sideways petals are tricksy. I think that one is kind of folded around. Also not really sure what I'm looking at, because some of this reference photo is like a little weird. Alright, and there's like a little flower center in there. Okay, that's all I'm going to do for my pencil sketch. I don't know if you can see that too well. Camera. This camera is terrible. I need to get a new camera. So I'm going to attempt to do this in the same kind of sketchy style. And a lot of that is the pen. The pen and the textured paper is what is creating that. If I tried to do this with a fountain pen, I don't think it would work. It just wouldn't create the same kind of marks. So yeah, if you're trying to do this with a different pen and it's not working, it could just be the pen and nothing that you're doing. It's really interesting. I noticed, like, depending on the tool that I use, it really changes the result that I get. Alright, no promises on these flowers, guys, because flowers are not my strong suit. Oh, wow. That's nice. They still seem like some like foreign exotic fruit to me because we don't have them here and I've never seen one in person. let's see. Mom has apples and pears. I don't know. You planted a lot of different things now, Mom, haven't you? It's hard for me to keep track since I'm not there anymore. Let's see. I think this comes out more. There we go. This really is it's a little wonky compared to the reference, but since you can't see it, you won't know the difference. I'm going to do this petal first because it overlaps that other one. Flower petals are often like really kind of tricky shapes because they're soft and they kind of fold on themselves, and sometimes they do kind of unpredictable things. I don't want to get too detailed here, but sometimes a few lines can really help petals. And this one over here. Alright, and then we've got a lot of stuff happening in the center here. A lot of squiggly bits. And I'm not even going to try to draw them all. I'm just going to make like lumpy stuff. Technical term for drawing is lumpy stuff. There you go. Okay. And now there's this other one. Which one should I do first? I think this one. And I'm deviating from my drawing, which is always a bit dangerous, but what are you gonna do? And then there's another petal inside of that one. I'm telling you, petals are tricky. Oh, and there's another one over here that I forgot to draw. And I'm not sure if that's a bud or what. Okay. Sorry, I'm concentrating on these petals. My elbow is squeaking on the table. Right, and you can just kind of see the center of that flower. I'm going to switching to leaves because leaves are much easier to draw. One little leaf, and then we've got those other ones are on the other side. So we've got this little leaf here. And then, whoops, that one. Oh no. Sad about the peach tree. I don't really like peaches, but still sad. Keith is laughing at me. Can you hear him? Can you hear him laughing at me? Well, he is. Have you guys drawn your quince yet for the friendly fruit sketchers? You have no excuses now that I did it twice. All right. I think that's it. Cool. Now for the fun part, the watercolor. Although, these are a little tricksy. Okay. Oh, I know what I wanted to show you guys. Where's my sketchbook? So I'll give you a little sneak peek of what I'm working on. I just finished this one, which is not a cherry, but it's close. And then there's my quince that I drew but didn't paint yet. Sneak peek. Shh. Yes, Keith is here, trying to be a good boy and be quiet.
Husbands are better seen than heard.
Oh, you hush. It is really fun, like all of us working together, or all, doing creative things together. I think it helps feel motivated to create, and also like you're not as alone. All right, erasing like mad. There we go. I think sometimes I like to fix my lines a little bit after I've erased, and I can kind of see what they look like without the graphite underneath of them. Okay. Oop. I just like to make sure that they all connect somewhere. I don't have like floating lines. And whoops. I think I'm gonna make this line a little darker, just because it overlaps with that one. And I want to make sure that there's some contrast there. Cool. The red sketchbook. Yes, that is a gift. A gift from my dear Sophia. And it's a handmade sketchbook all the way from Russia. And oh man, I don't know if I want to try and say it. I don't say it correctly. Привет is hello in Russian. And I'm sure that I didn't quite say it right. All right, where's my paintbrush? Okay, so, woo, making a racket. Okay, since I've got every color under the sun here now, and ooh, I'm gonna put a piece of paper over that so that I don't make a mess of it painting this. Let's see. I'm gonna grab some Quin Coral and just go for it. This is a really gorgeous color. If you don't have it and you like to paint flowers, you need to get it. Sorry, but yes. It's a warm pink, but it lends itself really well to, like I said, flowers, flesh tones. If you do portraits, this will be a nice color for you. It's just a really gorgeous pink. And don't worry, Mom, I put some in your palette that I sent you. So you're gonna have this color when it arrives on Monday. And I guess I'm just going to paint all of the flower parts in one go. I'm not quite doing this as messy as the first go round. Wow, that's really, really bright. I don't know if the camera is picking this color up, but it's just gorgeous. And I went out of the lines. Oh well. I left a little white there. I'm going to leave it. Was an accident, but probably a good thing. Maybe I should add a little bit more pinks in here. Just to give some of these petals a little more dimension. What is that? I have no idea. Let's see. What can we do for like a darker pinks? I'm gonna grab some Perylene Violet and mix it in with the quinacridone coral, and that's going to give us kind of like a nice shadow color for this. I'm having a little bit of a hard time seeing what I'm doing. Messy style. Ooh, Perylene Violet is just fantabulous. I love it. Perylene Green goes really well with it as well. That was kind of redundant, but you know what I'm trying to say. They mix really nicely together. They play really nicely together. The thing I love about working wet and wet like this is that I don't have to worry about softening any of my edges. The paint just softens out on the paper all on its own, and I don't really have to do anything, which means I can, you can kind of get more satisfaction out of it right away. I only have Perylene Violet and Perylene Green, but I do want to try more of them, of course, because I want all the colors. It's kind of a problem. Let's see, I can lift a little here with a dry brush if I feel like it's getting a little out of hand. I'm obviously being a little more careful than I was with the Quince. What paper? This is Arches 140-pound cold press from a loose pad or a block, I don't remember. But the paper you use makes a big difference. 100% cotton makes a huge difference in how your paper behaves. And personally, I think that the paper you use impacts your art far more than like whether or not you use professional watercolors or really nice brushes. Not that those things don't help, but the paper is really what can make or break it. Like, I could have the nicest brushes, the nicest paints. If I had shitty paper, pardon my French, it's just not going to be as good. I'm going to be fighting with the paper the whole time, trying to get it to do what I want it to do, trying to get it to do what it should be doing. If you haven't painted on 100% cotton paper, you won't really know what you're missing, because you're used to the other paper, and there's nothing wrong with that. And there's certainly like a time and a place to use, lower quality papers. I do like having some around just as kind of like testing stuff out or whatever. But at a certain point, you get to a place where you don't want to be fighting with your art supplies to get the result that you're trying to get. Let's see. Oh, your mail is not working. See, we're still able to send mail here. I feel like that would be bad if we couldn't send mail. I think here mail is considered like an essential service. Fabriano, I've tried their student grade paper, like the Fabriano studio paper. I think it's 25% cotton. It's okay. It's not my favorite. It's fine for certain things, but if I was going to do like a commission or something, I would use Arches. I find that Fabriano is really soft and the tape tends to tear it. Like even washi tape or masking tape tends to tear the Fabriano paper. And it's really expensive. It's more expensive than Arches. And I don't know. I was like, why pay more for something if it's not even what I wanted? But I mean, some people love Fabriano, and a lot of it really depends on your painting style, what you're used to, what you want out of the paper. Like there's so much of art supplies that comes down to personal preference. So I guess what I would say is just try stuff and see what you like and what you don't like, because I might love a certain product and you might try it and be like, that's not working for me at all. And that's fine. Parcels being held. That is unfortunate, my dear. I don't know. Like things like Amazon here has been slower than normal, but I don't think there's any mail being held. I was at the post office on Friday and I sent out a couple of packages and they were going to get to their destination by Monday. So it didn't seem like they were delayed at all, which I was actually impressed. Although it was really weird going to the post office. So you could only have 3 people in the actual like mail room at one time, like where the cashier or the desk or whatever is. And of course there's tape on the floor, so everyone has to stay 6 feet apart. And then this other guy in there he had everything. He had the face mask, he had the gloves on. If I moved, he moved because he didn't want to be closer to me. I was like, oh, this feels so weird. This is awkward. Like, I don't want to I feel like no matter where I stand, I'm inconveniencing the person next to me. It was just not a fun time. Yeah, sometimes that happens. What are you going to do? I hope that it arrives soon and it's not held too much longer. Like, they can't really keep your mail forever, right? Like, people need their mail. We need to put some yellow in here, don't we? I'm just going to grab that aureolin from before. This is White Knight's aureolin. Whoop. Oh well. It's interesting, like New Zealand probably has some of the lowest number of cases too, I'm guessing. At least compared to the United States. Oh no, you haven't had any updates? The yellow is like bleeding everywhere into the wash. Oh well. What are you gonna do? Alright, I'm going to throw in some sepia here. If I had more time, I would add some more shadows and kind of try to bump up this contrast here with like a second layer of wash. But that would probably take me a little while. And I've already been here for an hour with you guys. How did that happen? How did that go by so quickly? Anyway, Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate your time. I hope that you'll give this little painting a try. Maybe even check out my Skillshare classes if you haven't already. I think, though, that everyone who's here has already done so. And, oh, I have some updates. So, Patreon. As you guys know, this month, all of the stuff is free. Starting next month, I've already got my prompt and everything picked. I've got the workbook completed, and I've done a rough sketch of the painting, and then I've even done like a second one. I started a second one. So that stuff is going on schedule and should be ready, let's see, May 1st. Wow, time flies, man. So I'm really excited about that. It's a little beach escape this time. And I don't know, should I give you guys a sneak peek? Do you want to see? Yes? Okay. You're so cute. All right, where is it? Where's my stuff? I have way too much stuff, you guys. It's ridiculous. Mostly I just have nowhere to put my stuff. So the stuff I have just ends up everywhere. Okay, so this was my first attempt at the prompt for May. Can you guys see? And it was like a really loose, kind of rough sketch. And I just wanted to see if the colors I had picked would work and if I liked the composition, etc., etc. And I wasn't completely happy with this. I didn't like the blue that I picked for this particular color palette. Like, it just didn't seem like it worked to make what I wanted. So then I decided to do it again. And I haven't finished it. I haven't finished the second draft, I should call it. But here are the colors, which I think I shared on Instagram earlier. So I've got Perylene Violet, Ercolano Red, Venetian Yellow Earth, Naples Yellow, Buff Titanium, Bloodstone Genuine, Undersea Green, Leaf Green, and Indigo. And then here's my second attempt, which is I'm about on my third wash here, but it's not done. I haven't put any of the darks in yet, so it's a little pale and washed out, but I think the colors are working better, which makes me happy. So yeah, that's gonna be Patreon for May. Indigo, yes. Yep, and some nice warm earthy colors, because those are just seem to be what I want. Seem to be what appeals to me right now. I don't know. Woo. Dang it. Well, I'm just making a mess now. Anyway. Ooh, you should paint it for her. I'm sure she would love that. Alright, you guys. I'm gonna getting on. Got some other stuff to do. And thank you again so much for joining me. And I'm hoping to make these a regular thing. So I'll be sure to let you guys know when the next live stream is. Thank you so much for coming. See you guys soon. Thank you so much, Joy. I appreciate you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. And good night.